goes off to the tune of a career-high 154 rushing yards and a pair of touchdowns on the ground. His 16 rushing touchdowns lead the NFL this year, second most in a single season. Only Hall of Famer Jim Taylor had more back in '62. He joined Susie after.
Welcome back to U.S. Bank Stadium, where the Green Bay Packers win the NFC North. And Aaron Jones continued on his touchdown tear with 2 more tonight. He leads the NFL with 19. Here with Louis and Steve as well. So first, you showed up tonight in the sombrero. Can you tell us what this means?
I've been wearing a sombrero probably since week 4. My girlfriend thought of it, and so I started wearing it. And actually, a Packer fan sent me this one. I had a plain black one. Packer fan sent me this one. And then my girlfriend put the lights on it for me. So
and now you have the North hat on top.
Now I got the North hat. So
is this from the old UTEP days?
Definitely from the old UTEP days. From El Paso, so a lot of my coaches from there. So love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Aaron, what does it mean to you to have such a big night on such an important night?
It means a lot. This is one of our goals, winning the North, and we knew we had to come in and establish the run. It's something Coach told us all throughout the week. So I just got my mind right and got it ready, and then didn't have the start I wanted to, but thanks to their defense, some of the guys started talking trash and got me going.
Look, you're clearly getting your mind right. This team seems much more efficient when you're running the ball like this. When you guys come out and you just establish the fact that you're going to get a whole lot of Aaron Jones tonight. Seems like the defense feeds off of that too. Do you feel that? Do you feel like the whole team kind of rallies around? If Aaron's really running it tonight, you guys just play with a different kind of energy and physicality.
I don't know, but I mean, our defense definitely had it out there tonight. Yeah. Big kudos to them. I think they gave up like 138 yards total. So anytime you do that, you're supposed to win a game. So big kudos to them, and I hope to keep it going so everybody keeps it going.
Football players get incentive from a lot of different places, but a lot of times it's a chip on the shoulder for disrespect. Do you still think about being the 18th running back in the draft? Is that still in your mind, or is that you
I was the 19th. It was 18 before me.
Oh, gotcha.
So, see, I remember that. Yes, sir.
Sounds like you might have paid attention.
Definitely play with a chip on my shoulder. I feel like I've been an underdog all my life, from coming out of high school to 3 offers to now. I feel like I should have been in the Pro Bowl, but you know what? God has something bigger planned for me, and it's going to happen.
Is it a chip?
It's definitely a chip. It's a mountain. It's a mountain.
No,
yes, sir.
So first Pro Bowl and now first playoffs. How do you put in perspective just what that means?
It means a lot. Just lets you know your hard work is paying off, and you continue to do things the right way, and God will continue to bless you.
So here's the deal. So if you guys win next week and San Francisco loses, the Green Bay Packers could have the #1 seed.
It's a tough place to play in Lambeau in the winter. I'm telling you that now. So that sounds great to us.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
The AFC playoff picture is cloudy as well. Pittsburgh still trying to get in. Mason Rudolph likely to miss the final game. He came in for Duck Hodges Sunday, was knocked out right there with a shoulder injury. Hodges has 6 picks and 1 touchdown the last 2 weeks. Pittsburgh needs a win, and they need help to make the playoffs. But they get a bit of help from their opponent, at least presumably, in that the Ravens will be sitting a number of key players. Lamar Jackson has nothing at all to gain. Neither do the Ravens. They're already the 1 seed in the AFC. Mark Ingram's out. Coach John Harbaugh said his calf strain mild to moderate. They hope to have him back for the playoffs. Earl Thomas, Brandon Williams aren't going to play on defense. Yanda's not going to play as well. So the Ravens will be playing a bunch of backups as Pittsburgh's fighting for their life. Only Baltimore at 1 and Buffalo at 5 are locked into their seed. Both New England and Kansas City can still earn a bye. Houston cannot. Titans have the inside track for the playoff spot. That is the last one up for grabs, while Pittsburgh and Oakland, one more time, are still alive. Ryan Clark back once again. A little more clarity in the AFC than in the NFC, but still plenty of variables that will play out this weekend. But as the saying goes, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Baltimore, because you'll have to go there. But does it really go through the Ravens in your estimation?
It absolutely does. When you look at what they've been able to do from their team holistically this year, what they've been defensively since acquiring Marcus Peters, and obviously we know what Lamar Jackson in that run game could be and how great they are in between the numbers. Mm-hmm. Had you asked me this 4 or 5 weeks ago, I would have told you it's Baltimore and no one else. We can book them in the Super Bowl in Miami. But right now, watching the Kansas City Chiefs, seeing this defense improve each and every week. I mean, the last 2 weeks, they haven't given up a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And Tyrann Mathieu, had he played like this all season, we'd be talking about him for Defensive Player of the Year, moving him to the slot, getting him closer to the line was the greatest move of Steve Spagnuolo's short Kansas City Chiefs career because it's changed that defense and the way that they attack each offense every week.
So there's those two, and I agree. Clearly, the Chiefs have stepped forward. I think you can make a case that they're better now than they were a year ago. Their record's the same. They won't be at home. The Patriots are still out there going, hello, we're over here. And look, we know they've been lesser than this year than in years past, but they're still them. What's that mean when I say they're still them to you? What does that equal in the playoffs?
Fear. It honestly does. When you're a team and you go against the New England Patriots and it's Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, you always think to yourself, they can fix it. They can get it right. And we watched them against the Buffalo Bills kind of revert back to what they were last season, late in the season, which was a running team that went play action off of it, that played very good defense. And that's the way they beat the Los Angeles Rams. And so if they can stick to that, you expect them to be able to stay close. But can they make enough dynamic plays offensively to win? I don't necessarily believe they do, but it's not to say that they can't with that great pedigree that they have there.
Sure, it just feels like the tricks in the bag, there just aren't many of them. They might not need them. It's just, it feels like a guy like a Mahomes is able to find it. And then in the case of Baltimore, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, that's exactly it, though. I feel like you need a dynamic player to beat the Baltimore Ravens with their dynamic quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes is that equalizer.
And again, I'm sure Patriots fans are smiling, just nodding their heads as if to say, how are you going to sleep on us? I mean, maybe there's a new team in town, but if nothing else, there'll be theoretically, there'll be a different destination for that title game. A whole lot of defense to lean on. Ryan Clark alongside. And I try to get what we talk about in the room to the set, and that's sometimes a challenge. But the point that you and I were making as we talked about the value of home field is we've seen Green Bay go on the road, play San Francisco, play the Chargers, and look a mess. How significant might it be for them if they're at home?
No, it's huge for this team because they're 7-1 at home, and that loss is early on in the season to the Philadelphia Eagles. They are a better team there. This defense is better there. But more importantly, they protect Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers has been a better quarterback at home than he has on the road. And so you want to make people come to Lambeau. And don't get me wrong, Scott. It's not because Lambeau is this big, scary place and people can't win there and no one wants to play in the weather. It's because the Green Bay Packers don't lay eggs there. They don't get taken out to the woodshed there. And so if you're the Packers, you hope that the Seattle Seahawks, who we both spoke about as the most vulnerable 11-win team we had seen, kind of along with this Packers team, you have to hope they find a way that Beast Mode brings some energy and they can get a win for you.
That's perfectly said about them. They don't lay eggs there. It's not that they're invincible. It's just that they haven't looked a mess at home, and a couple of times on the road they've been a mess. I don't think Kirk Cousins was a mess tonight, and I talked to Booger about I think the primetime record is overstated as a result, as it has to do with it being his fault. But there was one key moment in this game that you noticed something in particular that was significant. What was it?
There was a key moment in this game where Kevin King gets an interception, which totally changes the momentum on the return and sets Green Bay up for their first touchdown. But I have to take you back to September 15th to really show you how this thing all came to be. Here you're going to see a great play by the Minnesota Vikings. This is Jair Alexander and Kevin King right in front of Stephon Diggs. You're going to get a deep post with a high crosser. The crosser will pull the free safety out of the middle of the field. Here is a zombie call. You're expecting Jair Alexander to get over the top of Stephon Diggs and make the play. Great throw by Kirk Cousins right outside of his reach. Now Kevin King becomes the pusher. You're going to see the same exact route, same formation. Once again, the safety is pulled out of the middle of the field. Look how high Kevin King was. It's almost as if, Scott, he knew the play was coming. It's almost as if he studied the film and knew same exact formation, same exact spot on the field. This could be the play that we're getting. They communicate it. They make the adjustment. You get the pick. You win the game. That's what this game is about. In college, they'll give you a year to fix some of your problems. You got to fix them in the same season, sometimes the same game, and the Green Bay Packers did that.
A little bit of that Ed Reed that Belichick talks about when he baited Peyton Manning into that throw, turn and ran, and he got that pick. That's really interesting. Now, I mentioned some breaking news, and you just alluded to it. This is a tweet from Adam Schefter that makes official what we presumed would be the case. Pete Carroll had said earlier in the day there was a real good chance that Marshawn Lynch would be back with Seattle. Adam Schefter tweets out, Beast Mode officially back in Seattle. Marshawn Lynch and the Seahawks have an agreement. Now, I was joking earlier about whether he's in shape or not. How the hell, what difference would it make? How do you know what shape he's in? He's in Beast Mode shape when he wakes up in the morning. And what a luxury for Seattle to be able to have that guy who they can call and bring in. And can he beat Chris Carson? No, but he can run physically. And you told me last night that's their identity.
Yes.
How significant might he be for them in week 17 and beyond?
This is even more important than production. This is about an identity. This is about a physicality that you can have in your run game that lets people know how you come to play each and every day you walk into